This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Richard, thanks for joining us. As always, you think about this weekend being a 3 o'clock game. Coach Pittman said earlier this week it's a great time for recruits to be able to get there and then even go home in some cases. Who should we know about coming in to Fayetteville this weekend?
Still putting together a list, but Andre Evans, a DB out of Tennessee, a 2024 prospect with offers from Arkansas, Tennessee, Michigan, Ole Miss, Kentucky, several others. He'll be in for an unofficial visit. There's some others that I'm still waiting to hear from, but it's definitely a better setup when, like Coach Pittman said, they're able to get in that day, and some be able to leave that night and go back home. So make it a one-day trip. So that's a good setup, much better than the LSU game. But hey, that's just the way it is right now. The good thing is a lot of kids are not in the playoffs, so kids that are not in the playoffs can still come Friday night, attend the LSU game, and head home that afternoon.
How big is homecoming for recruiting?
I think for kids, it's not that big of a deal. Maybe the parents are kind of, that they understand the significance of it. People coming back to campus and stuff like that, and in their days of college. I don't think it's a huge deal for, a 16, 17, 18-year-old young man who hasn't really, experienced the college life yet and fully understands it. But, it's still a good thing for them to see and see the school, how they honor their past students.
Yeah. Richard, a rash of games, particularly in the western side of the state, but the further east you go, maybe it's a little less frequent, are being moved from Friday night to Thursday night in our state due to the threat of severe weather. I was just thinking, sitting there listening to you talking a second ago, could this open up the possibility for someone that was supposed to play Friday night, now going to play Thursday night, that they can get to the game on Saturday where otherwise their plans weren't going to work out?
Yeah, as far as, maybe if that's the case with other states like Oklahoma, yeah, I could see that. Arkansas kids obviously won't make that big of a difference. But and I think I saw some schools even in Texas moving their games to Thursday too. That could help a little bit for this weekend, no doubt.
We've moved games before for deer hunting, but not for, I guess we've had some really severe weather. I guess they're expecting some bad stuff, but I was surprised, and as I'm sure you were, the number of games. It seemed like yesterday about late morning, early afternoon, a snowball started rolling downhill on game date and time changes.
Yeah, the good thing is, for the most part, people in the weather industry, meteorologists, are pretty accurate, and I guess most of the administration and ADs saw this coming and thought this was a possibility, and I'm sure that they were kind of working on this in advance in case as it got closer to Friday and it was maybe a little bit more definite that the weather was going to be bad, that they were able to kind of have things going in that direction and be able to announce it that quickly.
So it'll be a lot of games tonight in the western part of the state. Central part of the state, from what I can tell, still playing a lot on Friday night. There's a couple of very meaningful games when it comes to playoff positions and seeding in conferences, and also some great players to get out and watch in the central Arkansas area. So I guess a real enthusiast could go watch a game tonight on the western side of the state, then go to central Arkansas. Who would you be watching if you were headed to central Arkansas for a game Friday night?
Tommy, I'm going to disappoint you. I haven't even looked at the schedule. I'm not even going to lie to you. I've been so focused on so many other things this week, and what's sad is what I usually do when I pick a game. I pick a game on on Thursday or on Friday. It just depends on, how close I am to that game, and I that's usually when I make my decision. So I haven't even looked at the schedule. I'm sorry to say.
How about Cabot at North Little Rock?
Yeah, Cabot, obviously, I saw them against Bryant, and obviously that was a very good game. I give them the edge. I like their quarterback. They got good size on the line, especially the offensive line. But North Little Rock's playing much better as of late. And then they got Quincy Rhodes. They got a linebacker that I really like, too, at North Little Rock. So North Little Rock's always going to have talent. But that'd be a good game. But I'll go ahead and pick Cabot on that one.
What about Conway at Bryant? Those are the two big ones in the 7 Central.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's kind of like Alabama. It's hard to pick against Alabama because how dominant they've been lately. It's hard to pick against Bryant because they've been dominant so much so lately. So and they just seem when you win as much as a team like Bryant, even when it comes down to crunch time, you're thinking, okay, we're going to pull this out like so many other games that they've pulled out in the past, even when it was close. So I think the mental edge is there for them.
Richard, I want to talk more about Arkansas football. You got the 3 o'clock game, 11 a.m. next weekend. You just think about the importance for the next 3 games with not playing at home for over a month. How impactful is that for recruiting? You get 3 straight weekends where kids can come to campus.
That's big. That's big. The 11 a.m. deal for LSU, I know that they were trying to load up for that and the Ole Miss game. That's disappointing, but this is the new world for college football now. The 11 a.m. game is almost like the primetime game. Instead of 6 o'clock, it's 11 a.m. because the TV the networks are seeing that the 11 a.m. games pull in great ratings, so they're trying to load up to 11. But I think long term, maybe the conferences, the schools are going to have to come up to an agreement that, hey, we can't have 11 a.m. games all the time, because especially for a school like Arkansas, where you have about 5-10 guys in the state of Arkansas in 1 year capable of playing SEC football, you got to recruit out of state, and you got to bring guys in, and I'm sure that's not just Arkansas's concern, but that's got to be something that I would think that's going to be addressed in the future, because if you're always at 11 a.m., not only does it hurt you unofficially for unofficial visits, but official visits, because a lot of guys are playing on Friday night, and you have to get them in very early Saturday morning for them to be able to enjoy the game and get the official visit going. And that's the direct flights to Fayetteville are very few. Now you have Atlanta to Fayetteville, and that's very good, but they're kind of slim pickings there. So that puts you at a disadvantage.
Richard, the week you play LSU, week 12, the SEC slate is horrible. I mean, you got Georgia and Kentucky, and then South Carolina plays, I can't remember, they're playing another SEC team. I think the rest are non-conference. Is it just the assumption that you'll close out your home schedule either at 2:30 or at night based on how bad the games are that weekend?
I guess, man. I assume so. And maybe the Ole Miss game that they can get a 2:30 or a 6 o'clock. I think I know the fans are always wanting a night game, but for recruiting purposes, either slot is pretty good. So the main thing is you just cannot keep having these 11 a.m. games. And I've been seeing the LSU fans griping about the 11 a.m. games. They've been getting them quite often too, evidently.
Yeah, I know they were frustrated a couple weeks ago when they got an 11 a.m. game. They felt like they should have gotten the 2:30 or a night game. Richard, last thing, you got a dunk contest going on tonight in Budwall Arena for students. I also want to ask you about a guy that could potentially be that at some point. That's Bay Fall. Now, he's narrowed his list down to Rutgers, Seton Hall, Auburn, and Arkansas. He's going to commit on November the 15th, which is coming up. Any indication if he's going to be a Razorback in the future?
I think they've done everything that they can possibly do to get him to be a Razorback. He's visited twice along with his cousin, who's a 4-star prospect who also will be making his decision on the 15th. So I feel good, but at the same time, usually what happens is near the end when kids are about to make a decision, kids and people around them go silent. And then that creates uncertainty and some anxiety with, coaching staffs and media people. So I think Arkansas is in good shape. Am I going to say he's for sure coming? No, but I think for the longest, Arkansas would have labeled them the leader. Are they the leader now? I can't say for sure.
We'll leave it there this morning. We'll get that announcement again November the 15th from Bay. And hopefully he'll be putting on a Razorback hat and announcing he's coming to Arkansas, 5-star center out of Colorado. Richard, we appreciate the time this morning, man. We'll do it next week.
Football is back, and BetOnline remains your number one source for all your football betting needs this season. You'll find the latest odds, matchup info, player news, and game trends. And as your continued source for all sports wagering info, BetOnline features live betting, free contests, live scores, and giveaways all season long. Always the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports and events like MLB, MMA, tennis, boxing, and even golf. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive your 100% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. Bet online, where the game starts.